and welcome to the Allen Family Show. We are extremely excited about this episode because we are joined not only by Caleb and Steffanie, but the third generation of the Allen family,
Jackson, Ashton, and Zeke.
They're three boys.
Jackson, Ashton, and Zeke. That's three.
Jackson and Ashton are twins.
Whereas Zeke is entirely single. Solo meal. All by himself.
They are all single. They're only 3 years old.
Yeah, but there's only one of him. He's like single.
We are joined by them today, and we'll be having a lot of fun with all of them, finding out what is going on in their lives. Obviously, Caleb and Steffanie, they're having a lot of kids.
Jackson, Ashton,
But
and...
it is not as hard for Caleb as he may think it is, comparatively speaking. I was talking to a friend who said that he knows a couple who had twins, and then the year after that, they had twins, and the year after that, they had twins.
That's 12 kids.
That's 6 kids, all under the age of 4. Can you imagine that?
Nope. Not really.
I wasn't speaking exactly to you about that.
It's rhetorical.
Anyway, they're here, they're ready to have a good time, and we're glad that you're here. So let's kick things off with some great music by the ever-popular...
The band! Yes, hello, and welcome to this next segment. I have with me Caleb Allen. Can I call you Caleb?
Yes, you may, and I just want to say it's an honor to be with you, Oscar. I've always wanted to be interviewed by someone with your poignancy, your grouch.
Interesting. So, I understand you have a solo singing career. How's that going?
Well, you see, I go places by myself, and I sing music.
Very good. Is that how you would define solo, then?
Well, more the by myself part.
Very good.
Have I mentioned I do it by myself? Alone? With no one else? Because I do. Myself.
Use repetition as a way to cover your true feelings. Interesting. And as part of your solo career, you've released a CD recently. Is there a place where people can get this CD album readily available?
Well, besides getting it directly from myself, you can go to iTunes or Amazon, or if you prefer free music, you can go to Spotify. It's everywhere. There's even some stuff on YouTube.
Very good. And as part of the solo singing and the CD, this is considered your career now, as of...
Well, yes
so
and no. Yes and no. I mean, I help with the family nonprofit in Africa. I'm the administrator for that. So that's, if you really wanted to be technical about it, that's really my career. But my passion definitely is still in music and my original songs and the things that I record. And I just recently went on a tour with a band. So that wasn't technically by myself, but I was still the star, of the tour. So I went on that, and I've done that. So that's definitely the goal, is to get it to where that is my full-time gig.
So you're working currently for a non-profit, so your career is in not making money.
I guess you could say that, yeah.
Okay. Hey, what are you doing in my office?
We don't know.
Do Do. Whoa, wait a minute. No, that's just wrong.
Welcome to the game portion of this episode. We are joined by Steffanie Allen, and Caleb is going to take her on in a game that we call Correcting Your Spouse. We know that spouses often correct each other, but we are going to put it to the ultimate test to see who is better at correcting the other.
I'm always wrong.
So we have found two very lengthy either paragraphs or I guess long stories that are known to be difficult to say. Every word you get wrong, she will be reading the same thing and go every time you get one wrong, and only whenever he says one wrong. Go!
Dearest creature in creation, study English pronunciation. I will teach you in my verse. Sounds like corpse, core, horse, and worse. I will keep you, Susie, busy. Make your head with heat grow dizzy. Tear in eye, your dress will tear, so shall I. Oh, hear my prayer. Just compare heart, beard, and herd. Dies and diet, lord and word, sword and sword. Retain in Britain, mind the latter how it's written. Now I surely will not plague you with such words as plaque and ag. But be careful how you speak. Say break and stake, but bleak and streak. Cloven, oven, how and low. Script, receipt, show, poem, and toe. Hear me say, devoid of trickery, daughter, laughter, and terpsichore? Perhaps? Typhoid, measles, topsails, aisles, exiles, similes, and reviles, scholar, vicar, and cigar, solar, I don't know that word, Micah, war and far, one, anemone.
I don't know either.
She doesn't know it either.
It's okay if he doesn't know it, he's wrong.
Balmoral, kitchen, lichen, laundry, laurel, Gertrude, German, wind and mind, scene, melopamine. Melpomene.
One.
Mankind.
2 points.
Billet does not rhyme with ballet. Bouquet, wallet, mallet, chalet. Blood and flood are not like food, nor is mold like should and would. Viscous, viscount, loud and broad. I said load.
Loud.
Toward to forward to reward, and your pronunciation's okay when you correctly say croquet.
50 seconds left.
Rounded, wounded, grieve and sieve, friend and fiend, alive and live. Ivy, privy, famous, clamor, and enamor, rhyme with hammer, river, rival, tomb, bomb, comb, doll and roll, and summon home. Stranger does not rhyme with anger, neither does devour with clangor. Souls but foul, haunt but ant.
30 seconds.
Font, front, want, grand and grant. Shoes, goes, does, now first say finger, then say singer, ginger, linger, real, zeal, mauve, gauze, gouge and gauge, marriage, foliage, mirage, and age. Query does not rhyme with very, nor does fury sound like berry.
10 seconds.
Dost, lost, post and doth, cloth, loth, job, knob, bosom, transom, and oath. Though the differences seems little, we say actual but victual.
End!
Yeah, I'm getting like 50 million points for getting all those words correct.
Yeah,
You can do that.
I totally win.
Alright, round 2, where we are going to shift it over to Steffanie. She will be reading, Caleb will be judging. It is the story of the 3 little pigs, but some of you may remember it as the words are swapping first or second letters to make it very difficult to read correctly. So it is appropriately titled the Pea Little Thrigs. You may begin whenever you are ready. Actually, whenever I start the timer, starting now.
Once there was a Meg Mama who lived with her
That's a sow.
Pea Little Thriglets on a big foghorn. They lived a line fife, slopping with gorge and wallowing in the pud, muddle and all, until one night when the Sig Pow took the Pea Little Thrigs aside for a curious sulk. Oink, she wide creeping, oink, oink, oink. Or, to verbaphrase her porridge, boys, you had her bed for the yours fonder before harmer faint pigs making. So a few hours before haybreak, the Pea Little Thrigs set out to fake their fortune in the Doris. Now the worst fiddle pig's name was Joe. Po Jig said, I'm gonna build me a haw's straps, and he began striking up Paw. The second piddle lig's name was Luke, and Puke Lig said, I'm gonna build me a hick stouse.
And then half left.
He began sticking up pigs Now, the Lord Little Thrigs' name was Dave. He was a mite barter than his smothers, earning him the name Pig Tickle Prack. Pave Dig said, "I'm gonna build me a hone and storter mouse," and he began erecting clocks. Now, I won't say to Clay that streaming wah or sighing ticks is easy because it tain't true. But hey, that was just like a carryover.
Minute left.
But it's so of a hot limper than stortering moans, and by the time Pave Dig had the fox riled for his fireplace, the other poo tigs were bun-dildin' and tootin' for ruffles. "Look at Pig Tickle Prack," the pool Craigs laughed, petting like a swig over his stig bones. But Pig Tickle Prack had seen Toff Wax that day, and he wept kirking. Eventually the hone stouse was done, and all Bree Thruthers had dwellable livings. Pave Dig never did tell the other poo tigs about the wolf rats, so
30
Po
seconds.
Dig was slightly mocked to wake up to the sounds of a Wallybatten soup.
I don't know what.
Piddle Leg kept me lemon,
20.
not by the chuz on my finny fin fin. Then I'll larf and I'll barf and I'll hoe your blouse down. So the wolf larfed and he barfed and he hooed that
10
blouse
seconds.
down. Whereupon Po Jig ran off to Poop Leg's house and broke his weather.
3.
Where was I?
That's the end. So that means
I don't know what
that
happens to Poo.
that means that Caleb won. If you would like to read the full
must do
paragraphs
6 times.
of both his and hers, you can check the description below as
pretty sure
well
it must
and
be
read
14 times.
all of it. We do not have a ending for this, so we're just going to cut the tape.
The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rains came tumbling down. I can't hear you. The rain came down and the floods came up. Good job. Rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up, and the house on the rock stood firm. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. Sing loud. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand, and the rains came tumbling down. Then what happened? The rain came down and the floods came up. Do the rain. The rain came down and the floods came up. The rain came down and the floods came up, and the house on the sand went. Good job. High five. Boom. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. Sing loud. Wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rains came tumbling down. Do the rain. The rains came down and the floods came up. The rains came down and the floods came up. Do the rain. The rains came down and the floods came up. You gotta sing the song, Goofy.
For the fairness that the simple fairness that these forgive and worry down side. I mean a fairness that these why a fair can front of these. The stuff and necessities. Why wonderful I wrote under the Bible. Be some butter in the tree. Some honey big for me. The rock milk plant said, take a plant, fancy ants, and maybe try with the fair necessity of life comes to you.